Hi everyone, my name is Mpho. I just want to remind you that we are on YouTube on the following channel, My Truth with Lindy.Shirries, and our podcast is It Is My Truth with Mpho and Lindy. Please subscribe, like, and share. Let's get into the word. Today we're just getting into a teaching with regards to how you receive people. You know, how you treat people really matters, because I've got to learn that God blesses people through people. He doesn't come down, but He uses people to bless other people. So that's what we are going to learn today. That you know what? God can use people to bless you. He can use someone to give you direction, to push you into another level, and furthermore, to lead you into your breakthrough. God, with all His power, can't come down and do it on this earth, but He has placed us with people. He has placed people around us. He has placed us to be a blessing to other people, so that whatever we need, we realize that we have it, or it's actually whatever someone needs is in our disposal. And whatever I need is with the next person. Whatever you need could be with your neighbor. Who knows? So let's be careful of how we treat other people. It could be your colleague, it could be your helper, your fellow brethren, your boss, your teacher. It could be even the person who cleans your garden. They might be carrying something that you need. They might be carrying an answer to your prayer. So I want to encourage you today, as we get into this great knowledge of treating people, that we are very careful and act on how we treat other people. Book of 1 Samuel, as we continue. 1 Samuel chapter 9, verse 6 to 8. These young men were looking for their donkeys. And as they were walking, they were like, what, let's go back, because we are not we are not finding these donkeys. So let's just go home. And the servant said to Saul, Saul, no, we can't go home. There is a man in this city that can be able to help us. Did you hear? There is a man that can be able to help us. So their help was with someone else in the city, someone else in the place where they were looking for the donkeys. Let's go through the word, because I love the word, because you can always go and reference, and sit down and read it for yourself. The book of 1 Samuel chapter 9, verse 6 to 8. It reads as follows. And he said to him, look, there in this city, there is a man, the man of God, and he is an honorable man. All that he says surely come to pass. So let us go there. Perhaps he can show us the way that we should go. Then Saul said to his servant, but look, if we go, what shall we bring the men? For the bread in our vessel is all gone, and there is no present to bring to the men of God. What do we have? And the servant answered Saul again and said, look, I have here at hand 1/4 of a shekel of silver. I will give that to the man of God to tell us our way and give us direction. So Saul and the servant were looking for the donkeys, and they needed help. And the servant remembered that whatever the man of God says, it actually is true. He's an honorable man. So let us go. He will help us. He will give us the direction where the donkeys are, and we will be able to find them. So we realize in the scripture that their answer was with somebody else. Their answer had to be with a man, another person. And so if they were naughty children who once probably said bad things about Samuel or sweat at Samuel at some point, would they have the confidence to go to him? So we have to be careful on how we treat people. So let's continue hearing what the word of God says as we dive deep into this teaching. The book of 1 Samuel chapter 10, from verse 1 to 6. It reads as follows. Then Samuel took a flask of oil and poured it on his head and kissed him and said, is it not because the Lord has anointed you commander over his inheritance? When you have departed from me today, you will find 2 men by Rachel's tomb in the territory of Benjamin and Belzar. and they will say to you, the donkeys you have been looking for have been found. And now your father has ceased caring about the donkeys and is worried about you, saying, what shall I do about my son? Then you shall go on forward from there and come to the tree of Tabor. There 3 men going up to God at Bethel will meet you, one carrying 3 young goats, another carrying 3 loaves of bread, and another carrying a skin of wine. They will greet you and give you 2 loaves of bread, and you shall receive from their hands. I'll stop there for now. So we are reading up until 6. So Samuel says to Saul, I'm going to give you direction, and I'm going to give you landmarks, which means there are things that you must be on the lookout for, the signs to show you that you are on the right direction. And he started telling him about 2 men that he will meet, or he will actually find by Rachel's tomb, and then he must continue. And then as he continue, he will meet up with 3 more, another man who's going to tell him that, you know what, your father has found the donkeys, but now he's worried about you. And then as he continues, he will actually go on to meet 3 men of God who are going to Bethel. And then when they will be carrying 3 goats, and another one will be carrying 3 loaves, and another one will be carrying a skin of wine. And this is what is, just triggered me. And they will greet you. Hi, Saul, how are you? These are strangers. How are you going to respond? Obviously, you have to be good to them. You have to respond with love and joy and peace. And it says, and after that, they will give you 2 loaves of bread. This is what you must do. You must receive from their hand. Receive from their hand. So there are things that are in the hands of people that you need to receive from them. But they will greet you, hi, and you must respond in a way. So our attitude towards people that we meet on the road, towards people that we come across. I mean, he was walking. He was walking because he was given direction to go to certain places. But the man of God says there are people that you're going to meet. So even in our walk of life, there are people that we are meeting. But when they greet us, how are we responding? Do you say, I don't talk to strangers? And you don't get to receive from them. You miss the opportunity to receive from them, to receive from their hands, because they have something that you actually need. So we are guided here that they will greet you, and when they greet you, they will give you, 2 loaves of bread, and you must receive from their hands. And then as we continue, it says, after that, verse 5, after that, you shall come to the hill of God, where the Philistines' garrison is. And it will happen when you have come there to the city that you will meet a group of prophets coming down from a high place with a stringed instrument, a tambourine, a flute, and a harp before them, and they will be prophesying. Then the Spirit of the Lord will come upon you, and you will prophesy with them and be turned into another man. So as he continues on the journey, it says, now you will meet again a group of prophets. And this group of prophets will be coming from a high place. And this is what they will be having. They will be having instruments, harps and flute and tambourine. And they will be prophesying. Then the Spirit of the Lord will come upon you, and you will prophesy without effort. Just because you are in the company of prophets, you will start prophesying, with them, and you will be changed into a new man. So this got me thinking that, the people that we surround ourselves with, or the company that we are in, actually there is a spirit at work there. We don't know what kind of a spirit it is, but here we see that the Spirit of the Lord, after he met up with prophets, then the Spirit of the Lord came upon him. Why didn't the Spirit of the Lord came upon him when he met up with the 3 men with the loaves and the wine? Because he was not to remain in their company. He was just passing. But now here he says, you are going to meet this group of prophets, and you will be in their company. And then they will be prophesying. And then the Spirit of the Lord will come upon you, and you will start doing what they do. So, child of God, people that we keep company of, they actually influence us one way or the other. whether we are conscious of it or we are not, you find that we are taking certain things from those that are around us. We are actually starting to behave in a certain way because of the impact that they have on us, and even vice versa, what we have, the impact that we have on other people. So here the Spirit of the Lord came upon him and he started to prophesy just as they were prophesying. And from there it says he was changed into a new man. Now I get to understand why parents say, I don't like this child that you are hanging around, just because since you started hanging around this child, you have turned into a different child. Have you ever heard parents who say that? I've heard so many of them where they actually stop their children from moving with a certain crowd because they realize that there's a certain change that they are seeing in their child. So it is true. Whatever spirit that is operating within the company that you are in, within the company of people that you are surrounding yourself with, is going to come upon you. And you're going to behave. You're going to be changed. You're going to behave the way they do. You're going to start doing the things they do. If you are not smoking and you find yourself in the company of those who smoke, it's just a matter of time. You will find yourself desiring to smoke. You'll find yourself now starting to smoke. You'll find, because of the spirit that is operating in that company, in that person, in the people that you surround yourself with. So let's be careful on how, or on the people that we see or meet, on the people that we actually now surround ourselves with, because there's a spirit in operation that will change you to become that which they are, or to become something that you are not aware that you can become. Let's run with the word. In the book of Proverbs chapter 13, it reminds us that whoever walks with the wise becomes wise, but a company or a companion of fools suffer harm. If you are in a company of fools, you will suffer harm. You will be in trouble. That's what the word says. The word is, it's so black and white. It's either you do this and you will get this, or you do this and you will get that. But it says, if you walk with the wise, then you become wise. Without effort, the company of the wise will make you to become wise as well. The company of fools will make you to suffer harm or be in trouble. So be found in the right company. I encourage you. As we continue in the book of 2 Kings chapter 5, we'll read from verse 2 to 4. It reads as follows. And the Syrian had gone out on raids and had brought back captives a young girl from the land of Israel. She waited on Naaman's wife. Then she said to her mistress, if only my master were with the prophet who is in Samaria, for he would heal him of his leprosy. And Naaman went in and told his master, saying, thus and thus said the girl who is from the land of Israel. So here we see that Naaman had leprosy. And then there's a servant girl that they have who's from Israel. And this servant girl waited for Naaman's wife to give Naaman's wife this valuable information that, there is a man that I know who can heal my master. If only my master can go to the prophet in Samaria and he will heal him of his leprosy. And so when Naaman heard this news from the wife, he went to his master and told his master that this and this. So the servant girl from Israel is saying this and this about a man from Samaria who can be able to heal me. And, we realized that Naaman needed this information. This was valuable information for him. And all he had to do was take action by leaving the place where he is and go to Samaria to be able to meet up with the prophet. Because this information is so valuable that it will bring him healing. And so that's what Naaman did. That he realized that I needed to act on this. I need help. So he didn't look down on the servant girl. He didn't look down on, where does this information come from? What does she know? But he took the information and ran with it. He applied it, into his life and say, I'm going to take this. It's probably going to have or bring my breakthrough. So many of us, a helper can bring you information that you've been waiting to hear. I'm sure Naaman had this leprosy for some time, but the servant girl was so concerned that I will not keep quiet about this information. And so I'm going to tell my master's wife so that my master can be able to be healed, because I'm concerned, about his well-being. He's my master. And so there are people out there who are concerned about you and what you're going through, and they have an answer to say, if only this person can just hear what I'm saying, they will be able to get their breakthrough. So this also applies to us, that we should not look down on anyone. We must receive, help. We must hear our cleaners, what they say. Could be in the office, the cleaner in the office that probably has information that you've been waiting to hear that can help you. And once you take them as important, once you take their information and say, I value this information, and I value the person that has given me the information, and by so doing, you will do what? You will act on that information and be able to see the results. You must value people, value their role. They are in your life for a reason. People are in our lives to play a certain role. Like I said when we began, that God blesses people through people. Others cannot give you the money that you're looking for, but they can be able to carry you, as a burden, and pray with you and for you, that you meet the right people who are going to give you what you're looking for. Others are just helpers, that they will help you in terms of connecting you with the right people. So we need to value people. Look beyond someone's shortcoming. Look beyond what they have. Don't say, I don't associate with people who don't wear shoes. Look beyond someone's shortcoming. Look beyond their weaknesses. Look beyond their limitations. You must humble yourself enough, to accept, people and be able to receive from them. It takes grace. Hey, it takes grace to do that. So I just want to encourage you today that people out there and people around us are people that have our blessing. They are here on earth to be able to bless us. God is going to use anyone. God is going to use you. God is going to use me to be able to be a blessing to someone. So if I'm received well, definitely, people will be able to receive from me. If, with what I have in my hand, they will value it. With the information that I give them, they will value it. And so do you. If you receive people well, you will be able to hear from them. You'll be able to value them. You'll be able to take their information and act on it. And it can be your breakthrough. It can bring you that answer that you've been waiting to hear. So let's learn to treat people well, receive people well, and learn to receive from people around you. Thank you.